all my people within Social Buzz Network is to be happy, healthy, and successful. So, you know, I think I'm a little bit more focused and clear on what I want to do for the group. And of course, you know, we're resourcing. We have a lot of resources available to us. So I just want to make sure that everybody here shines. So I'm excited. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marcia Bell at Elk Mountain Brewing, and we are located here in Parker on Plaza Drive. We are expanding. A lot of great things are coming our way, I hope.
Tell us more.
I know, right? We're in the near future, we're going to start putting food in our brewery. It's going to be not anything major, but you know, it's food that people can snack on, like pretzels, flatbread pizza, and stuff like that. Right now, you can bring in your own food or have it delivered. We are also making our patio. We have a great outdoor patio, but the sun beats down, and we're putting 2 pergolas up in the back, putting fire pits back there, and so that's going to be a lot nicer.
So that's on the street side.
Yeah, the street side, yeah. And we're also started bottling beer. So we have the brown ale already bottled and the pale ale, and we are going to be bottling in the next couple weeks the cherry wheat. So you can find those in local liquor stores, and we are also in restaurants like Texas Roadhouse, Hickory House, and Tequila Joe's locally. Just a lot of great things. We have all new staff, assistant bar manager, operations manager, and the brewer, and things are just looking up for us. So stop in and see us.
I'm just curious, how are you getting away with being allowed to have your own food? And I thought that was against the rules of the brew.
It all depends on what license you have.
Okay.
Right now, the license that we have, we cannot have a kitchen in there.
Right.
But you can bring in your own food or have it delivered. So if we were to put food in there, we would have to change it to a brew pub.
Okay, and then you can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Tri-County Health gets involved in all that good
All right.
stuff.
Yeah, I know all about Tri-County Health. They're not fun. So.
And they always show up on just the right day.
You greet him with a smile. Right? That's all you can do.
I'm Dave Johnson with Buyer's Choice Home Inspection. And thanks to Doug's motivation over the last year or so, he's encouraged me to expand my business globally.
Wow.
I got my inspector up north now has started generating revenue, which is an exciting thing for him. And I have another guy that's going to quit his job and go to work with me. So I offer peace of mind to buyers and sellers of homes. And it's been a great year, and hopefully with this expansion, it will just continue to go.
Awesome.
That's
the way to go.
It's got me my new why. I went from money to something beyond that, growing a business and legacy. And I thought your speech was pretty good.
Thank you.
So it looks like everybody went to see Doug 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
Seems like forever ago. But.
I know. And I have to say, having seen him 2 years ago or a year ago, not only was his presentation inspirational and motivational, I just felt like Doug has advanced and just grown so much as a speaker. It was really fun.
He's finally getting it. It took him a long time, but he's finally getting it.
I was waiting for one thing though. I was waiting for you to run really fast. Put your shoes on. I thought he's going to run.
I know. I really like the fact that
But
you
he
took
never-
your shoes off and you put tennis shoes. It reminded me of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that flash of Oscar score.
I thought you were gonna like
I've gotten
say
slower in
something.
my old age.
She talked about it, but that's...
Doug's thinking to himself, I did run really fast up there. Did he not see it?
Yeah, that's right. We'll see it again.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't have a referral for you today, Doug, but a testimonial for sure. And I think I got it actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I know, it's about time.
Ooh, yeah.
I actually went home that night and worked on it the next several days. So
Awesome.
I think I'm there. Yay, that's me! And I do have a referral, well, not so much maybe a referral, but I would love to just kind of chat a little bit with you about some beer stuff.
Okay.
So my name is Teresa Engel. I own Vine's Wine Bar. And this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. Wherever you guys are going and whatever you guys are doing, If you haven't called somewhere to get in somewhere for Mother's Day brunch or dinner, you will not get in.
Oh, wow.
Don't go somewhere and just show up, whether it's here or anywhere else.
I just
So
take my mom to McDonald's. It's not a problem.
it should be fine.
Okay.
It should be fine. But we're getting people, we were filled up and taking a waiting list over a week ago.
Wow.
So,
That's great. That's cool.
which is kind of scary. So we've already way outpaced last year's Mother's Day brunch. But we're also open for dinner. We do still have reservations open for dinner if anyone's interested in that. We had a fun event this Tuesday, this last Tuesday, where we did, I actually invited people to come in, and they were able to taste on some of the wines that were our finalists for our spring and summer wine list. We had so much fun. You guys should have been here. The last Tuesday of the month, which is May 27th, it's the Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend. We're doing a wine and food pairing, but it's going to be new items off of our dinner menu and some of our new wines that we selected, and we'll be pairing those together. And it'll be a lot of fun. So food and wine pairing, that'll probably be about $35 or so, maybe even a little bit less, depending on what we end up with. So, and then we've got a couple of other fun things going on. For anyone who's been in Parker before, it's that time of year again. What time is it?
Wine walk.
It's Wine Madness. Wine walks start this year. They are the fourth Friday of every month, not the last Friday of every month. Fourth Friday of every month, and they start May 23rd. If you want more information about that, let me know. But it's a great way to bring your friends down and get in the heart of Parker, support local merchants. And if you can help us get the word out, one thing that's important to know is that the merchants are the ones providing the wine. When you buy your ticket, you're paying the Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber uses that money as a fundraiser. I mean, that's one of their fundraising events. But that money goes to the Chamber, not to us. So we're the ones buying the wine, we're the ones supplying the wine, here promoting our businesses and trying to make a great community event for everyone. So come out and support. And if anyone is a Chamber member, is anyone a Chamber member of Parker? If you're a Chamber member, but not a downtown business, and you would love to participate, you know, hand out business cards, etc. There are businesses here that would love to partner with you. Again, they put the wine in themselves. I work with as many who want to work with me to pass through wine at cost, but still it's several $100s. And they would love to partner with other businesses who would, you know, share some of the cost of the wine and also have someone physically here throughout downtown Parker, because some of them have to pay additional labor to be here. So they're having to pay the additional labor for crowd control, they're having to pay the cost of the wine. And so there were several merchants who were concerned about participating, saying it was cost prohibitive. And one of my recommendations to them was to partner with a Chamber member who's not downtown, who would love to come in and pour wine at Parker Pernash, or, you know, one of these other businesses up and down, and hand out business cards and say, hi, I'm, you know, Marsha from Elk Mountain. It's busy, 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 busy. So if you are interested in that and are willing to either help provide some labor and or share cost with some of the wine and create some exposure for yourself, I think that's a great way to connect with some of the merchants, and I'm happy to facilitate some connections for you if you are interested in that. And other than Wine Walk, again, fourth Friday of every month, I mentioned the 27th, which will be our menu, wine list, and new food item pairing. And then on the 29th, we will have another wine dinner, and that one will be with Garrett Estates, which is a Colorado winery. And also, we're co-sponsoring wine for Parker Days this year.
What is it?
We're co-sponsoring wine for Parker Days this year.
Oh gosh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we have a couple of, alongside the beer tents, we'll have some wine tents as well. So with Garrett Estates Wines, will be sponsoring the beer tents, wine tents.
Do you need volunteers? Probably.
Probably. Yes, professional drinkers.
Is that the course line beer tents?
So yeah, the course has the beer tents, and then I think we're going to be either adjacent or near the beer tents. And that's everything that I can think of right now. So before we move on, before I forget it, anyone have referrals that you want to pass on to anyone?
Yes.
Yes, awesome.
You
always the referral.
Well, I try. So, what do we? Which one do we give you?
You keep the white. I'll take the yellow.
We'll take the yellow. Okay. You were gone. Greg was here though, but brought my son-in-law and my daughter in here for dinner and drinks a week or so ago.
You did say he saw you. Thank you.
Yeah, he was sitting next to a buddy and talking. So, you know which one?
I'll take the yellow. You take.
Okay. Christine, did the Sarian call you yet?
No.
Rebecca? Okay, the number's on here. So, I'll do that. They need moving boxes, and I talked about getting an estimate. They're in Hounds Ranch.
Oh, okay.
Dave, we did Paloozas, right? Was that down in Castle Rock? Robert and Janelle? We did somebody, and I thought it was them, but that may be a different name. And then we got one coming up this weekend. So, so who was the last one that you remember? It wasn't Pabooza because they did a new home build. And I don't know if my son-in-law's come in yet, but I actually gave him the growler that I bought at the giveaway because I wasn't using it.
Yeah.
And he lives in Highlands Ranch and he makes his own brew and says, "Here, take and try this, Rich." So hopefully he's come down there and getting some beer. So, okay.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
And again, let me remind you guys, so anybody that fills these out, you're going to be registered to win prizes every quarter. So we have really fantastic prizes to be given away. It's a lot of fun. So this upcoming July is going to be our, I believe it's July. July is going to be our next quarter that we're giving away prizes for all the referrals. So our all white attire event, and it'll be a great time. So the more you refer, the more times you're going to be registered to win prizes. Anybody that attended Doug's event, anybody that attended Jude's event, we can fill out a referral slip. I think that's, you guys.
Oh, I was there at my event.
And you provided a lot of information for our members, and I thought that was fantastic. So if you guys attended those, then fill out a form, because I think that's a great. So, anybody else have questions to give me? Oh,
Now everybody's busy filling them out.
good. Yeah, just go ahead. Yep.
Maybe Doug, before you get started, do you want to do the education, or do you want me to?
Yep, I can.
Something else first?
Yep.
Let's do that.
Do we need to finish up slips here?
Finish the slips. Finish the slips.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Did you find mass evaluation?
It's definitely. I checked it. It says fall.
So I give you the white. So Susie, the yellow, you take the white.
Yeah, no, it's.
Normally you would give that to
But now it's both, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, you guys. It makes me happy.
Which is part of your big why.
Hey, I have a question before you get started.
I hope I could answer it.
Well, it's always, I was driving in this morning and I couldn't wrap my head around it. You got Social Buzz and you have Denver Entrepreneurs. And you always say we're up to 1,200 members in Denver Entrepreneurs. Is Denver Entrepreneurs yours?
It is mine.
And Social Buzz is yours.
Yes.
So we don't have 1,200 Social Buzz members.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We have close to, how many? 70
Okay.
or more.
So there's Denver Entrepreneurs, there's no charge for that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, for the Denver Entrepreneurs, they have to pay to come to all our events.
The Social Buzz events.
Yep.
Okay.
It gives us an opportunity to expand our network. So I actually use that as a farm. So I invite all the Denver Entrepreneurs
The Social Buzz
to
events.
Social Buzz events,
Okay.
and I charge them. But that actually provides us with more opportunities.
Because that seems to me like a big pool that you're sitting on there,
Most of
1,200.
most of my members come from the Denver entrepreneurs.
Okay. And the directory and Social Buzz is just the 70 members of Social Buzz.
Yes, if they want more exposure, then that's when they pay for that.
Okay. All right. Does Denver Entrepreneurs have their own website or no?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. I
Just meet up. Okay.
am
Because you always talk about that. In the,
right, and so I have to figure out a way to kind of integrate.
Okay.
And the only thing that I've come up with is Social Buzz Networks, Denver Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So that's.
Okay.
If anybody has suggestions, I'm always open.
Because I've never, until now, I've never heard it clarified. I've always heard you talk about it and didn't really understand the relationship. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I own that group.
Okay.
But I've actually grown it from 400 people to close to 1,200.
Okay.
So, and we get members all the time.
Okay, ready? Before we start, I got a trivia question. I just heard on the radio. Let's see if you guys know this, because I would have never guessed it. What country in the world puts avocados on their ice cream?
Oh, wow.
China.
China? I mean, this good avocado sandwich over here. It's got
Avocados on their ice cream.
Avocados on ice cream. Brazil.
Wow. Never guessed.
So I've never tried it that way, but I like ice cream like avocados. I guess that would be all right. You know, kind of be
It
good.
probably tastes like green tea.
No, I don't know if I like green tea. So you just ruined it for me, Susie. Gee whiz. I won't try it now. So yeah. Let's talk about. We're pretty much done with my book. So let's talk about the power of referrals and customer service, because this group is all about referrals, and hopefully you're also in your businesses about building strong customer service. So. Let's talk about what you found that works for you for finding new clients for your business. The referrals kind of fits into there. So what have you found is a good source of new people? Because growing a business, the critical part is finding new people who can know, like, and trust you. Because then they will refer you business.
The one that's worked for me the best, Thumbtack.
Thumbtack?
You ever heard of it?
Uh-uh.
It's a service professional site. You receive leads, and it cost me $3 a lead. And somebody, when I started this over a year ago, somebody had to step up and hire me, take a shot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up to 15 reviews. I've had many more jobs on there, but all my reviews are perfect.
Mm.
I'm getting more and more jobs, and they're calling me saying the only reason I'm hiring you is because your reviews are perfect.
On Thumbtack.
On Thumbtack.
Okay.
So I've done a partner page on my website with Thumbtack, so if you want to read more reviews than what's on my website, it switches over to Thumbtack, you can read all my reviews. So Thumbtack's been amazing.
Is that a blue campaign kind of a thing?
No.
Okay.
I've tried Thumbtack before though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's alright. It's not too bad. The hardest part.
So there's a lot of drinkers on Thumbtack.
Well, no, it isn't
Regular
just,
business, I know.
it's all service professionals.
Yeah, and what I found about Thumbtack is there's a lot of people on there that don't have any skill set. And then that's the people you hire. So a lot of times they're putting really low bids all over the place, and it's really hard to even run a video production company through that website.
Oh, no skill set on the video stuff. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's
All
like just the customer is bombarded by all kinds of different people that put a price up that doesn't even come close to what it actually costs, and they actually suffer because their product isn't good enough.
I know I lose business because I bid too high, but I don't care.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you got to get your value.
You always got to do that. Unfortunately, there's a saturated market for people like me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really hard because everybody can go out and buy one.
Okay,
of
so that's a
these.
good source to produce business for you. Dave?
You can't beat the price for a lead.
Yeah, $3.
Yeah.
That's good.
I get new people from old people.
New people from old people.
You refer me to a friend, another realtor or whatever.
Okay.
I had a gal last night, she said, I heard you're the best inspector ever. And actually, she's right here.
Yeah.
She had just come to that agency and, you know, they move around. But that word of mouth referral is always good for me.
Okay. Word of mouth referral, but he also got the referral because there was a good customer service was done. That's why they said, heard you're the best home inspector ever. So that's good. Okay. What else? What's worked for you?
Obviously, meetup.
Meetups?
Yep. Creating a meetup and the Denver Entrepreneurs.
Okay. And then getting face to face and being able to interact.
having
people, build a relationship.
The socials, I get a lot of Denver entrepreneurs just because of the socials
Okay.
that we have every second Tuesday.
Yep. Do something fun. People want to know. So that's good. Yep. You want to catch up?
Yes, please.
Anything else you found as a good business building referral source?
YouTube.
YouTube,
I mean, that's the best thing I can think of.
especially for video, since
Yeah,
you're a video guy.
obviously I'm pushing that, but the really cool thing about YouTube is it's kind of like you've heard blogs being really successful. And that's just because there's a lot of really quality content. You're providing value before you ever get a client. So YouTube can do the exact same thing, except you have a visual experience that's unmatched. So a lot of times when you create video, you can develop something of value for your clients and customers that are potential clients and customers that a lot of networks and sources on the internet can't really, work. Plus, it's incredibly hard. Or Google owns YouTube, so everything in there gets really
Higher
well
SEO.
dispersed upon an international market.
Okay. You just reminded me. Somebody told me about doing a video blog
Yeah, the key is though.
versus a written blog.
Yeah, the key is though you have to provide value before you ever get anybody that wants to contact you, because you have to establish yourself as someone of value in that market.
Expertise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the best way to get someone
So there's
to
a
contact
good point.
you.
Provide value.
Yep, that's the first step.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. What do you do to provide unexpected value for your customers once they do start to work with you? Because your best source of new business is old business, as Dave said, people that you took care of really well. That's the simplest kind of a referral to get. So if you figure out some things that work in your area of expertise that can help your customer service to stand out.
Well, one thing, I will pre-interview a client before they hire me to make sure we're clear. I turned down 3 Super Bowl parties this year. They were going to have them at their home, and I said, so what are you guys going to do? And one person said, well, every time they have a touchdown, we're going to do shots. And everybody's bringing booze.
Wow, that would have been a lot of drinking for that Super Bowl.
And I said, well, you realize, you've had too much to drink, I'm going to cut you off. Because you're going to get wasted pretty quick doing shots. I said, no, you're not. I said, I don't understand. Well, this is our house. You're going to do what we tell you to do. And I said, I have license, I have insurance. I said, I will cut people off. I'm not the guy for you.
Right.
I turned down 3 Super Bowl parties. Another one wanted me to serve their underage children because it was your house.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And they don't understand the concept. And I said, I am not going to work your party.
Okay, so you have a high standard level.
Yeah. So
you
you
set the expectations up front.
Yeah, and you
Be
kill
clear.
it rather than show up and then mad at you. You kill it ahead of time.
Okay.
So
You get bad reviews as a
Good.
result.
Right.
Yeah,
So
right.
you-
Yeah, he didn't serve my 15-year-old. What is he thinking?
Right.
Wow.
I do unexpected things beyond the normal, and I have to be a little careful because, like you, I have a license and I can't go beyond the scope, and then they raise the expectations. But simple things like showing sprinkler systems and different things like that, I'll go more in depth, and I encourage my buyers to follow me around, ask questions. A lot of inspectors say, "No, don't bother me while I'm inspecting," and that kind of people want to be comfortable with me, but also with the home. They want to know everything about it, and that's what I tell them. My goal is so that we know everything about this house, from top to bottom, and all that stuff. So,
And Dave does a really good job on customer service. With I had a client who just sold his home. He didn't buy here. He moved back to New Jersey, but he was having to find out something on his basement for the inspection notice we received, and he couldn't figure it out. And I said, call my inspector guy. Oh, will he talk to me? Because they didn't do an inspection. He said, yeah. And called him, got an answer to his issue, and was very appreciative that Dave did that for no charge to him and helped resolve that. So that's good.
we did another consult on a coal mine in Collin Valley. There's a lot of houses built on the coal mine that used to be.
Yep.
And this house has slid three inches to the west and dropped an inch or two. That's Boeing, and so the investor was actually looking at it, and he said, "Tell me what to think about this." And they've done some fix up and stuff, and so those are things that it's like I tell some people, if I do inspections because I enjoy it, and if it wasn't for my wife, I'd probably do a lot of them free. She keeps spending money, so that's kind of kiboshes.
Keeps you charging.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, if you love what you're doing, that helps with building your customer service and your referral database, because people know and realize this guy's just not doing this to make a buck. He really enjoys doing it. Anybody else? Anything works? Matthew, right?
Easy to do free services.
Michael.
Yeah. Like for this, I have 2 cameras set up. Usually it takes me about 3 times as long as the hour of 1 camera to edit. So that's about 6 hours total that I put in. You know, but for what it's worth, I get the exposure. And the videos can maybe stay up for a long time. So it's residual, it's building.
Okay. You're building your reputation and your name. Okay. Well, the reason I got thinking about this is my wife just asked me last night. I told her about a new client I had that I showed property to last night, and writing a contract for him today. And she said, "Where did these guys come from?" And as I got thinking back through the chain, this is the 6th deal off an initial contact that I had 2 years ago. And I got that first guy, Jim and Rhonda. They were doing their house as a for sale by owner. And I called, which I was doing during that time, to go out and take a look at the property, see if, it might be something that's from one of my buyers. But then I also talked to the sellers to see, if they need any help. Well, Rhonda didn't want me to come out for a while. She kept putting me off. We've sold houses before. We can handle this. So I ended up finally getting out there, getting an appointment. They couldn't get it sold. I got their house sold, and that has resulted in they referred me to their kids, who referred me to friends. This is the 6th deal I've gotten off that one phone call, door knock that I stayed persistent on, and got into a new relationship with somebody. It turns into referral business over and over. I've got another source of referrals that a couple of realtors don't like using because you have to pay a referral fee to this company for that initial referral. But off of one of those, I paid 1 referral fee, and they've turned into 4 different opportunities for business. So that connection has paid off. That kind of minimizes my referral fee that I have to pay for doing those. So now you don't get those referrals. It doesn't keep building if you're not giving great customer service. They're not going to refer you and send you on to those friends and family members. And this couple that I put under contract, or working on the contract today, the gal that referred them to us, she wrote me a full-page email of how great the service was and what we did to take care of her. So she was really happy with it, and obviously she's talking about this. Is just a guy from work who she hasn't known that terribly long, and said, "You need a good realtor, you need to talk to Doug." So be thinking through where you're getting your new sources of business. I didn't call for sale by owners for a long time because I thought they don't like realtors. They're going to be mean and grumpy. They don't want to pay a fee. And it turns out, no, that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of other motives that they're going through, and a lot of times they're willing to use somebody if you're going to be, somebody who would work well with them. So are you missing a source that you kind of overlooked, or you think, that's not a good source of business for me? And then when you do get them, you want to give great customer service because they're going to be referring you on to other people. And that makes my business a lot easier. I don't have to do as much cold calling nowadays because so much of my business is referrals coming back and forth from other people. So we can tie that into our group as well. If we get a value out of this, we're getting referrals and businesses. Pass the word to other businesses to join us and be a part of it. Okay? Thanks, guys. Good input.
And you never know where that really good referral is coming from. I try to treat everybody the same because somebody, like you said, those people...
They can surprise you.
Yeah. They just keep on giving.
And I don't know if everybody else does this, but if I get a referral from a client, I always send a thank you note. Always. Just automatic. So,
to the person who referred you. Yep.
And I'm bad at that. And a lot of times, my referrals, like Doug's, goes 3 or 4 deep, and it's like, this person, and I don't even know how they knew me, but there's so many connections, it's hard to keep track sometimes.
Because I always ask, how'd you hear about me? Yeah. Got to know what's working, so.
Well, if we
I just make everyone drink and make them happy.
yeah.
Easy business bill, right?
That's right.
Happy juice.
No, that's
I have
right.
to keep all my clients sober.
So what do we have coming up with Social Buzz this month?
Well, on Tuesday, people, what do we have on Tuesdays?
We have
Tuesday.
Jackson's All-American at Arapahoe and Chambers.
Oh, very good, very good.
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
6 to 9.
On the patio.
On the patio. Party on the
So
patio.
if you haven't been there, they've got a fantastic patio facing the mountain.
Chambers, is it?
No, it's at Celebrity Lanes.
Arapahoe.
It's at Celebrity
Park Road.
Lanes, just off of Arapahoe and Commercial Road. So you're going to be there from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm encouraging everybody to bring at least, maybe really good clients of yours. Pay the $10 for them, and then bring them in, because that's going to give us a little bit more exposure to more people. I am trying to at least get 60 people there. I think we'll do that. But it'll be a great time. It's our first spring event that we can enjoy the nice warm weather. I think it's going to be really nice on Tuesday, so good networking there.
What time is it?
It's from 6 to 8. I sent out an email this morning at 8 o'clock, so I hope that everybody received it. You could actually go in and click on the buy button and then get your ticket. How easy is that? I'm trying to make it as easy as possible.
I'll continue to work on Antoinette, see if I can finagle this over there.
And if you guys haven't been to Jackson's, that patio out there is really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice.
It's a really nice atmosphere out there.
Mm-hmm. We do have June 11th. I put my name in for the Women's Chamber, or the Parker Chamber Women's Forum.
Oh, nice.
And that was like, it's a year waiting list, basically. It's really hard to get in there, and I'm looking for people who want to help sponsor that, because it's a huge group of women. So if anybody can benefit from having 60 women there.
Where would that be?
I don't know yet, because right now I'm just looking for sponsors at this point, because I have to do the breakfast apparently.
Yeah,
Is that the one that's like at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, it's at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Do you know how much it's going to cost you?
No, that's why I'm kind of looking around and seeing. But
So the cost is basically the cost of breakfast and coffee, right? You have to.
Right.
You provide the food.
yes, so I am looking for anybody that wants to help with that will get more exposure. I'm inviting our whole entire group, because you could benefit from getting business from 60 women. Then I think that's.
Where does the 60 women come from?
The Parker Chamber, so they're all, either they're professionals, business owners. So it's a very big group. Have you ever been there, Teresa?
A couple times.
Yeah, so it's
It's at 8 o'clock in the morning. So.
I know, right?
Yes.
Don't give up very many of those.
You know what? I don't know. I think it might be. Isn't it? Maybe 9:30 or so. I gotta find out. I'll find out.
I swear the last one I went to was way too early in the morning.
That still Teresa's like 8 a.m. So.
So I am looking for sponsors for that.
So what do they do? What's their format? They just get together and chat. Do they have a speaker or what?
They similar to this. They introduce themselves. Everybody introduces themselves with a 30-second commercial. The host actually can get up and talk about the business, which I'm going to have a lot of other people talking because we're a huge community of people within Social Buzz Network, and I just want to have the opportunity to let them know that and understand it a little bit more as to what we do. So, and they pass out cards. They give away prizes. They have breakfast, and they do have a speaker.
Where's it at? The location is like a standing restaurant, or is it? Oh.
It's anywhere you want it to be. Really.
So if you have your own business, typically you invite people into your business, or yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna let it go, but I thought, well, this is a good opportunity for our group to take advantage of. I just 60 women. That's a lot of people to get into your door. So, also, we have the Denver Entrepreneurs. So, I've been trying to come up with different ideas to improve the attendance for the Denver Entrepreneurs, and I have been speaking to JP Stone Street. Has anybody met JP? You met JP. He came to your, he's the bald guy.
Oh, yeah.
Speaker.
John Paul. Look like JP. Okay.
JP, yeah, Stone Street. His cousin is actually Eric Stone Street on Modern Living. The gay guy. So anyway, so he is a public
JP
speaker.
from Boston? That's
JP Stone Street. He's from Denver. So he's a speaker also. He's the business energizer. So he's gonna run the Denver Entrepreneur Lunch and Learn and help me beef up those numbers. So he is looking for speakers. he's going to speak in May, and then he's looking for people for June. We have Rod Smith is committed to doing July, and then so.
You're going to have it at the Evolve Bank and Trust?
Yeah, we're going to have it at Evolve Bank and Trust, but we're going to get more education, more speakers, more. So good opportunity there. I'm learning to delegate.
Yeah, Jason told me he's really busy lately because of that. So.
Yeah, I try not to bother him now. And then Holly Claire is kind of running with the social media training. So I believe this in June we're going to have LinkedIn information, which I think is really important. I know I get so many leads on LinkedIn, but I need to learn how to work it a little bit better. Because at this point, it's just kind of happening, and I probably do a lot better with that. And then we're going to be moving from the group in the tech centers, at least group on steroids in the tech centers, is going to be moving from Fiocchi's to Garcia's starting June 3rd. They have grown out of that space, and we'll be going to Garcia's thanks to Ray's connection.
Yeah,
there.
it's going to be a good meeting.
And where is that?
That's off of I-25 in Bellevue, Wood Street.
Syracuse.
So it's like the first turn on Bellevue to the north. So, and I believe that's it.
Now, there's always a Thursday conflict with this meeting,
it's the Lunch
right?
and Learn with the Denver Entrepreneurs.
And that is in May. What's that date? So everybody knows.
Let me see. So
It's the
that is
fourth Thursday, right?
Yep. So that's going to be the 22nd of May.
Okay.
And that'll be our first Lunch and Learn with the Denver Entrepreneurs that JP is going to be doing.
And that'll be at Evolve Bank and Trust.
Evolve Bank and Trust, yeah.
And that's where you guys are involved in, right? No, you put it at Snedra.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been
I'm
at
sorry,
Evolve Bank
I've never
and
been to
Trust,
the Evolve Bank and Trust place.
Yeah, that's up DTC area.
Greenwood Village. Evolve.
West side I-25.
Just use your GPS because it's all in these. So.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place though.
Yeah, it's big. And that's it. So if I could get everybody's participation for Tuesday and commitment, I actually sent out a sheet that people sign. Because when you decide to commit, you'll succeed. So I'm going to pass this around, and then you guys write your name and who, if you're going to bring somebody, +1, +2. I have +4 here. I am shooting for 60 people. So, yes, so I'm going to pass that around. Go ahead and sign it. And
look at her.
We'll see you there. We will see you there. It's called commitment.
Oh.
What was your name?
So, also, fundraiser values. If you don't have a book, you guys can take one of these books. It is a great way to fundraise. All the proceeds, 50% of the proceeds go to any charity, charity of your choice, or the Boy Scouts of America are a part of this book too, but this is a part of something that I belong to. And it's normally $25, and I think everybody got one in their bag though at the aquarium. So you should have gotten one at the aquarium. But so the first page actually pays for itself.
Place to sell them.
I want to sell them. I want to go play.
I know. Give some kids to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, so I actually have the Highlands Ranch area now. So I'm going to be selling the advertising for this book in Highlands Ranch. So if you know anybody that wants to be in it, we're looking for 10 professional businesses that will be exclusive in the book. And then everything else is just entertainment and restaurants, which is...
When is that book fired?
That book gets printed in July to be distributed in August.
Okay. August, a year run. August.
And it's good for a whole year too.
So the businesses that are in this, like Up Mountain is in this.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be in the Highlands Ranch one, or is that a totally
that's a
different thing?
different. That's a different book.
Okay.
So I have Highlands Ranch, Greenwood Village, and Littleton.
That's all in one book?
That's in my book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have businesses outside, like if we wanted to be in
If you want to be in this book, you can be in it as long as you feel like. If you want, to reach that demographic, then in that area, then I would recommend that you be in it. That's this one. Okay. Yeah. So, and that's all I got. That's all I got. Here comes Teresa.
Just in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to turn it over to Dave speaking, right?
Yeah. And then Michael wants to be a speaker too, so we can put him on the calendar.
Fantastic. Dave, let's take it away.
So they have to be over here. Gonna do makeup or anything, or we good to go?
I'm taking you back room. Take you back to the green room.
So I don't have it prepared necessarily, but as a home inspector, I know everything, I see everything, and I know everything about everything. That's the perception of some of my buyers. Unfortunately, that's not true. I do look at everything, and I do service everything, and I know something about everything involved in a house. But I can't see through things. I can't predict when the water heater is going to go out or when the furnace is going to go out. Unfortunately,
Come on, you're not psychic?
On occasion, I am psychic, but it doesn't always ring true. I've had, over the years, I've had a case where they call it, water heater went out 2 days after they move in, the sewer backed up the day after they moved in, that kind of things. Some of that stuff can be avoided by doing sewer scopes and some of the extra services that some clients don't want to do. But from a liability standpoint, I have to be careful to explain that it's a visual inspection of the home. When I did the training, they said the hardest thing about doing a home inspection is to see what's not there. There are clues that will lead to mold behind drywall, and there are things to look for. Cracks in foundation suggest some movement of something. Cracks in the drywall may or may not suggest any structural movement, but it's movement in drywall. I did a new home inspection, first year warranty inspection, by the way. There's several inspections I do. The most common is a buyer moving in or buying a new house. Once they get into contract, they have a few days to do an inspection. Also do inspections for first year builder warranty. So if you know a person that's been in a home for a year, the builder's going to come out and say, okay, they'll go through and look at things and say, well, we'll fix this or fix that. They're not necessarily motivated to look at that house too completely because it's going to cost them to do some things. But that's the last chance you have to talk to the builder about repair or fix or not maintain, but to adjust anything that hasn't been done. The one I did most recently has got a sump pit in it, and the thing is filling clear full of water. The sump pump has never run, or it hasn't run recently, and eventually that thing's going to dump into the basement. But that's part of my inspection, to find out that they had some drywall pops up in the second floor, which are just some minor structural movement that needs to be repaired, but the homeowner shouldn't have to do that. If he's only been in the house a year, they don't feel like they should do those kind of maintaining things. The siding wasn't installed properly.
I have a question.
Yes.
So could we hire you just to come in, even though we're not selling our house, just to check it out?
Absolutely. And that's another one of those it's a maintenance inspection. And it comes up a lot with people that are busy. They may not be that handy, and they're not going to do any of that repair work anyway, so they generally, and when you're in a house, you see things and it changes so gradually that you don't notice that the front stoop has dropped 4 or 5 inches and it's leaning 2 or 3 inches that way because of settlement. You don't notice things that happen to a home. And also, if your parents, grandparents, or whatever, they're in a house, they've been living in it for 30 years, and they probably haven't, again, noticed or looked at or maintained a lot of stuff. So I can do inspections like that just to make sure that a little thing doesn't become a big thing, and now you've got mold not only in the laundry room, but it's gone into the bathroom that's next door or whatever. So those are kinds of things that I can help with existing buyers. Doug, I know sometimes they do a pre-list inspection. So if you're going to sell your house, and by the way, if you have a home, please sell it, because realtors are desperate to sell homes. And by the way, they're getting some pretty good pricing now. Most of what I hear, and I don't get involved in the costs or the sales price a lot, but generally I'm hearing at asking price and sometimes above price. There's some bidding wars going on, and most people still think their house isn't worth as much as it probably is. Values have gone up pretty good, and we're used to having the downside of real estate. So I've kind of been encouraging people that have been even thinking about it to talk to a realtor and find out what your house is worth, but then also then talk to me, and we'll find out what the buyer's inspector is going to find, because they're going to have an inspector. So I have a pre-list inspection. We'll go through and identify all those things that their inspector is going to find, but also maintenance things that you can do, not to cover up, but to make it look like it's supposed to. You know, just caulking around a bathtub, if it's not done properly, it just looks crappy, and that could be a turnoff for somebody. And by the way, there could be mold back in there, so you need to get those things cleaned up.
So are there two inspectors, you said, from the buyer and the seller, or is there just one?
Usually if the seller has an inspection, there'll be two. Because typically if I do a pre-list inspection, and some realtors offer, they have a package where they'll pay for me to come in and do the inspection for the seller, because they don't want any surprises. When they get a contract and the buyer comes in, they want to know what that inspector is going to find. And typically, it's a service that I offer. It's a pre-list that you could offer to the seller or to the buyer and say, we've had this inspected by a third-party inspector, and here's what he found. And sometimes the buyer would go, oh, yeah, that looks good. Maybe I don't need to have an inspector come in if this guy's looked at it. But generally, the buyer will have their inspector come in. And the inspection is always paid by the buyer or the seller, but in some cases, realtors offer that as well. I had a couple of them, Fuller Sotheby's realtors, that's something that they offer. If they're making big commissions on it, they offer, and I don't know exactly how it is, but it's different levels of commission that they charge. On their higher end, then they offer that service as a pre-list. And so that's, sometimes there's two per sale. I also go in and do a lot more maintenance in that kind of an inspection, or in an inspection where your home is, and find out, because some of those things, if you don't maintain it, it turns into a bigger issue. You know, continuous maintenance is huge on a lot of those things in the home. And probably the two most important things in my inspections is the structure and water. Those are the two biggest issues that can cause ongoing bigger problems. And if the structure's moving, and I can tell that there's a huge, buyers are looking for everything, because I've had a couple of inspections recently, and these houses were like, I can't believe they put a contract on this house. I mean, I've had polybutylene plumbing, which is known to have some problems. I had a Federal Pacific electric box, aluminum wiring, and the house was leaning. I mean, it felt like a fun house. I walked in and it was like, it was pretty dramatic. Again, out near that E470 corridor where there's a lot of volatile. So if you've ever driven on E470, it gets kind of rocky. There's some shale that's flipped up on the side when the mountains were made. And now it's not bentonite, but it works a lot like bentonite. So it's moving these houses. I mean, literally moving a house several inches in one direction or the other. And with the structure, that's not good, because it's sitting on bedrock and it's still moving. That's substantial. Of course, I don't have an opinion, or I don't make judgments on a house. I've had, clients ask me, well, would you buy this house, or what do you think, or whatever. I tell them I don't have an opinion. I do know the facts. Here's the facts of this house, and I don't know what you're paying for it or anything. So it doesn't really, my opinion is not important, but the facts that I have to share with them is important. And my responsibility is to the house, not to the buyer, the seller, or the realtor. Whatever the house is, it is. And the biggest part of my job is to inform, not alarm. Even though I may be alarmed about this house, I have to inform them what the facts are. And the one client, he was in construction, and so he felt like he could make some adjustments. And you know, maybe it was $60,000 or $80,000 or $100,000. But if the price was right on the home, it was a good adjustment. And if he knew what it would fix, and I have, you know, a lot of people know a lot about that, and they can fix them. So if they save $100,000 on a house and spend $60,000 to get it fixed, it's a good deal for them. So I don't make any judgments or anything on that kind of thing. But I do enjoy my job, and you know, the biggest thing I try to do is make sure that the client knows exactly what it is. If it's a money pit, here's all the things that are going to be done or not. And you know, it's not that I look for things that aren't there, but I do need to put 2 and 2 together and come up with the solution as to what it is that's going on in the house. I have to sleep at night. I do it because I enjoy it. I don't need to cause stress. So, you know, sometimes there's a question about something over there in the far corner of that crawl space. And I crawl over there, and if I get through the process and I think, you know, I didn't check this out, I'll go back and crawl over there again, because I need to know that whatever was over there, I know exactly what it is. Same thing in any attics or anything. If I don't know it, I won't leave the house without knowing, because I'll go home and I'll think about it and worry about it all night. So I guess my conscience is an asset that my clients have, because they know I'm not going to wonder about anything before I leave. I'm going to make sure that I know everything that they need to know about the house.
Do you go up on roofs too?
I do.
Okay.
And there, the American Association of Home Inspectors is the association that kind of governs our code of ethics, and also our what we're expected to do and not expected to do. I'll go on a roof that's safe. Of course, on concrete and shake roofs, you can't go on. I have a 17-foot ladder. If I can't get up on a roof, Oakwood built a bunch of stuff out by the airport, and they're pretty close together, and they're all 2-story with almost no eaves, so they're 30 feet in the air, and you really can't get a ladder because the property lines are there. I look at all those with binoculars because I can't get on a roof. So if it's a roof that I can safely get on, according to standards, that's how we're required. So if I don't get on the roof, I report that. And you can see with binoculars, you can see a lot about what's going on with the roof from the ground. But that's another part of the standard. Attics, I don't crawl into corners of attics because I don't want to fall through somebody's living room. And so there again, I identify how I inspected the attic. From the attic access, there's 30% of it that I can't see. I had a client, one of those out at the airport, called me and he said they moved in and they had squirrels in their attic. And I said, well, again, going beyond the scope, I said, I'd be happy to come out and see if we can figure out what's going on with that. I spent 2 hours out there trying to figure out how they were getting into the attic. And of course it's way over and they're coming in through the eaves. And I said, you just need to call an exterminator because they can, they have experience in that. Again, I know a little bit about everything, but those rascals can get in almost anywhere. And I've done some attics where, in fact, I think it was one of Jason's houses opened up the attic access through the garage, and there was a mound of raccoon poo there. Well, I closed that pretty quickly, and it was easy to figure out where they were going. This was a house that had been empty for quite a while. These guys have been living up there for a while. But generally, varmints and stuff, and there was no evidence of anything. The squirrels, like I said, they were kind of staying in that one area, and I always looked around, and they had chewed through, come to find out, they chewed through some wiring, and he had some issues way over in the corner that the exterminator was able to surface for him. But there's actually a fair amount of liability in my business because of all of the unknowns and uncertainties that can happen, and also just the physical, getting up on the roofs and all that. But that's the other reason I have this job, is because I enjoy the physical nature of it. I'm able to stay relatively active in my waning years of my life cycle, but at the same time, it's not to where it's wearing me out. I got 3 or 4 inspections. 3 inspections is the most I've done in a day. And I do a few of those every week. It seems like every month it's getting this time of year. But for the most part, there's a lot of unknowns. And according to the ASHI standards, I just need to let them know that I inspected the roof from the ground, not on the roof. And it makes a little bit of difference on what can be seen. If I see anything that's suspect, then I go to the pros. I have the exterminator come in, or I have the roofing inspector, roofer guy come in. If I've got water damage, there's sewer, or there's storm reclamation people that can come in and identify how to fix and dry and clean, and they can do some amazing work with that kind of stuff. So that's my business.
Cool.
It's a fun job, and I hope to be doing it for quite a bit longer. Thanks.
Oh, it's
All right, thanks.
It's that time of year where all your like spring projects are starting to surface. And it's like, gotta get this done, gotta get that done, gotta get this done.
I know I have a raised garden on the side of my house, and it's actually like on the side of my house. So is that bad?
It could be just the moisture and stuff sitting behind there and trapped against the sun. Is it stucco or siding?
Siding. Yeah, siding. All right, so.
Do you know a realtor who could talk to you about that? Give you some advice?
I know.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
It was there. I don't know why they would do that, but. You know.
That's the most common question I get is, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, we have, like, our water hose goes right there, so I just don't, I guess I won't
So you're
plant.
watering the siding of your house?
Yeah.
Also.